Hello, welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations in Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and tonight I'd like to do another dinosaur, but this is a sea dinosaur, and it's called a Tylosaurus. And I will show you how to do this from start to finish. And used to live in the ocean, probably hunting fish and other animals like that. And it's a very interesting dinosaur. And I will show you the types of clay that we can use for this. You can use an oil-based clay such as this, which never hardens. And this is the one that I used to use all the time as a kid. And I loved it because I'd make all kinds of animals with it. And then when I got bored with it, I'd make something new. But it never hardens and it's reusable. Another type of clay that you can use, which can be bought in any art store, is this air hardening clay, which will harden like in a couple of hours or overnight. And this, what's nice about this is once it hardens, you can paint it, and it'll be permanent. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, which you can bake in the oven at about 275 degrees for 15 or 20 minutes. And you can drill it, sand it, you can make a tremendous amount of detail with it. And that's why I like it. I'll show you the size balls of clay that we'll be using tonight. There's this size right here. And this is what we're going to use for the base or the water. And then for the body itself, we will be using this size right here. And then for the flippers, we will be using these 4 balls of clay right here for the flippers. We'll first start off with making the water. And I'll show you, I'll refer back to the original model. This right here, we're going to make the water right here, this base right here. And I'll show you how to make that. We're going to take this ball of clay here and just kind of stretch it out a little bit. And I'm going to pull it out almost into like a potato-like shape. See how I'm kind of pulling that there? I would take your hands, squeeze it like that. And then what we want to do, see how we lengthen it? It looks like a potato. We're going to put this down and tap it on the table. And then what I'm going to do is push this down a little bit, just like this. See, I'm kind of pushing that into the table, just to make that base. And we'll tap it one more time. And see how you get that nice flat bottom? And then you have this nice base. And we're going to make it look like water. I'm going to take and get some tin foil. Now this tin foil, you can buy it in the supermarket or CVS or one of those places. And then you take and you crinkle it up like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take, and I'm going to take it and kind of make like squiggly lines. See, I kind of pull this down. You want to make the texture of the water. I have shown this technique before. It's a very good technique. See that, how we just kind of do that? And we're going to go all the way around. And you want to just kind of squiggle it like that. See how that makes that really nice texture? We're going to go around. I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to kind of make squiggly lines like that to make it look like water. And look at that. It's a really nice effect, and it does look like water when you complete it. So the next step that we will do is we want to make the body of the Tylosaurus. So I'm going to put this down, and we're going to take this ball of clay here, and we're going to make this into the body. But what I'm going to show you, what we're going to be doing for the body is we're going to, with this piece of clay, we're going to do the head, the entire body here, down through the tail. And I'll show you how to do that. What we want to do is take the clay and work it in our hands like this. Just like this. See how I'm doing that? Squeeze it into potato-like shape. Just like that. And then what I want to do is kind of pinch the clay like this. And then I want to start to make this into the head. See how I'm making this, squeezing this and making it a little round? See that there? Now what we want to do is we want to make, there's a pointed snout for the Tylosaurus. So we're going to almost like make like a beak. See how I'm making that? Just pull it like that. And then we'll make the shape of the head. Which, see the shape of the head there? How we made that? That's what it will look like from the side. That's what it will look like from the bottom. And that's what it will look like from the top. So what I'm going to do is start to make the tail. So I'm going to take this and you pull this out here to make the tail. Just kind of on both sides. See, I'm squeezing from both sides. Just like that. And just take and you just keep pinching and squeezing it. Just like that. See how that's starting to look? See, I want to make it kind of flatten it out like that. We just keep pulling. Just kind of work it. Just like that. And then what I want to do is lengthen the body a little bit. See, I'm working the body. Just like that. And then I'll take and continue to flatten out the tail a little bit. See how we got this? And then so now you can see how we got this is the head. And see how that, it kind of goes into a beak. This is the body right here. And then the tail. And see how we kind of flatten that out? And I'm also going to take and kind of pinch the top of the tail in the back like this. Just kind of take your fingers. See how I'm just kind of pinching that? That's like the spine that you want to create on the back of the Tylosaurus. Just kind of pinch it like that. And then I'm going to go flip this over now, and I'm going to pinch it from the bottom to kind of flatten it out a little bit. See that? So that's what that looked like from the side. See how now we kind of flatten that out? So, and then the next thing that I want to kind of do is take my finger and kind of rub it along the side of the body, like this, to smooth it out. Just go like that. See, I'm just taking that and taking my finger and smoothing out the clay. Just like this. We can just work it like that, just taking, smooth it out. And looks like it's almost there. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to work on the head a little more. I'll show you the model. See these eyes here? I want to create these eyes. I want to create the mouth here. And then see how I have the nostrils, like the little slits in the side of his nose for the nostrils? We're going to create those, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to get a toothpick, and what I could do is I'm going to take and try to split the mouth with the toothpick. So I'm going to take, see the toothpick here? Kind of take that. See, I'm just running that along the side of the mouth. And I'm going to go a little deeper each time I do it. That way, you don't want to break the toothpick, so just kind of pushing a little more. And I'll just go a little deeper. See that? And then I'm going to go over to the other side and do the exact same thing. Flip it over. And I'm going to make, you can see this. See, I'm taking the toothpick and kind of pulling it along like this. See that? And we'll keep, and then what I'll do is I'll go in a little deeper this time. So now what I can do is we can actually take and try to separate. See how the jaw, I can kind of separate it a little bit now. And we'll just work it a little bit more. I want to make sure that it looks all right. See, that's the inside of the mouth. You can see I'll peel that back. I'm just going to work it a little bit with my thumb there. And then I'll work this a little more. And then what we'll do, now that we've got that, we can take and shut the mouth like this. See what I'm doing here? I'm kind of pushing it and doing it like that. See that? And that's how we made the mouth. The next thing that I want to do is I also want to make the eyes. And I always have some clay on the side here. So what I'm going to do is take some little pieces of clay, and I'll show you the size that we want. I'm going to take, oops, you can see I got a little piece of clay like that, and then I'm going to take another piece of clay off here. And see these two pieces of clay? We'll use this for the eyes. So what I'm going to do is take and place them right here on the side. I'm going to just kind of place that on the side. So what I'm going to do is take my fingers and kind of work that clay in. See what I'm doing? How kind of just working that eye in like that. And then from the other side, I'll just kind of work it like this a little bit. Just like that. And then what we want to do is we want to take the toothpick and put it in there like that. Just kind of make the eye like that. See how I did that? And then we're going to proceed to do the same thing on the other side. We'll take the other piece of clay. I'll put it right on the other side and make sure they're in approximately the same location. And I just kind of work that in. See how I'm doing that? Work that clay in. And then I want to take and work that clay in from this side too. See that? So then what we want to do, I want to take this now, and take the toothpick and kind of work it back and forth. And see how we did that eye? And now we'll make the nostrils. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take and just kind of do this. Pull out along like that. See how we did that? And then we'll proceed to make it on the other side. So go just like that. And that, see how easy that was to do? Very simple. And the next step that we want to take is we want to put this body of the Tylosaurus onto the base. So now what I'm going to do is take, and you see how I did this? I kind of just, I'm trying to squish them together like that. And then what we can do is we can take the toothpick and kind of take some of the clay and work it into the base or the water like this. See how we just kind of take and kind of do this? That way we know that it's going to attach. And we can go over that with the tin foil again. But we want to do that on both sides. I would take, just kind of work that in a little bit to make sure they're attached. just kind of work that in like that. And then we're going to do a little touch up here. So I just kind of put that, see how I'm doing that? And then we'll flip it to the other side. We'll do the exact same thing, just kind of touch it up again. See how I'm doing that? Right there. And then the next thing that we want to do is we want to make the flippers. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you. These are the flippers. Right here. There's 4 of them. And we're going to put 2 on each side. So what I want to do is I want to show you the shape that we want for the flippers. We bring these 4 pieces of clay over here. And now what we want to do is we want to flatten these out. See, I'm taking and squeezing these in my fingers like this. You want to flatten it out like that, almost like a pancake. But now the shape that you want to create, I'll show you the shape. See how I'm creating the shape? Just like that. So this is the shape that you want to create for the flipper. So I'm just kind of working it between my fingers, flattening it out, but then creating that shape. I'm going to make 4 flippers like that. I'll show you how I do each one. I'm going to flatten this out like this. And then just like that. And I'll do the other 2. It doesn't take long to make them. Just see how I made that? Just flatten them out like that. And I make the shape of the flipper. See, I'm kind of working it like that. Just like that. And I'll make the last one. Flatten it out. And then we can make that nice shape of the flipper. Just like that. And what I want to do also is I want to look at these and make sure they're all approximately the same size. It looks like I need to do a little more work on this one to make it approximately. So now what I'll do is I'll put these 2 together, see these, and then put them, those are okay now. And then what I'll do is I'll do the same thing with these ones and make sure that they're the right size. See how I put those together? They are the right size. So the next step in the process is we want to take and attach the flippers to the Tylosaurus. So I'm going to take these flippers here, see this flipper here, and I'm going to take and just kind of push it in on the side like this. And see, I work it in like this. See, I'm pushing that into the, and then what I also want to do is I want to go underneath here, and I want to take and push some of the clay up against the flipper. See, I'm doing that with a toothpick. Push it up against the flipper. That way we know that it will be properly attached. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I want to make sure I'm attaching it in the right spot. See that? Take and work that like that. So I'm just going to working it in, and then we'll flip it over. And see this here? We're going to take and push the clay up against the flipper from this side. That way it's properly attached. And then we'll proceed to do the last 2. So I'm going to just take that, push it up against the Tylosaurus, the body. Just kind of work that flipper in like that. See, I'm just going to take and pinching that clay, and attaching it, flattening it out. I'm going to take, and as we did with the other one, I'm going to take the clay here and push that up against the flipper. See how I'm doing that? Just like that. You can see the toothpick pushing up against the flipper. And then we'll proceed to put the last flipper on the Tylosaurus. We'll flip it around, and I will put that right about here. See how I'm doing that? Take that, just work it in like that, and then we're going to flip it over, and I'm going to show you how it's taking, work some of the clay up against the flipper from this side. And now we do have the body complete. The next thing that we want to do is I want to show you, well, we got one more thing to add to the body. I want to take a piece of clay off of here. There's one more thing. I almost like a little sail or something on the back here. You can see this here. I'm going to create that and put it in the back of my Tylosaurus here. So I'll show you the size ball of clay that we want. This is the size ball we want. I'll roll it in my fingers like this, or my hands. See that ball there? Now we're going to make that piece. So I'm going to take this with my fingers, pinch it like this. Just keep pinching it, then lengthen it out. Try to flatten it a little bit. And see how it's starting to take shape there? We'll just kind of flatten it out like this on this side, and then I'll take and go like this to create that particular shape that we want for the sail. And now what we want to do is we want to attach that to the back of the Tylosaurus. So what I'm going to do is put this right here. See that? And just take, and so on this side, I'll take my finger and kind of work it in. See, I'm taking my finger and working that in, or my thumb. And then we'll flip it over to the other side, and you do the same thing on the other side. Just kind of take and work it like that. Like that. And then the next thing that I want to do is take my toothpick and kind of create some little indentations here. So you go like this. And I'll hold it up like this so you can see. See how we're doing this? Just like that. And you go all the way down the back like that. And see how nice that looks? And then what we want to do is create the skin texture. So I'll show you how to see this right here. It almost looks like these are the scales. They almost look like little squares on the side. I'll show you how to do that. It's very easy to do. What we want to do is, let's say we're doing the flipper here. We'll take this toothpick here and make like little lines across like this. Like that. Just like that. And then what you want to do is you want to take and go the opposite way, like this. And that creates those nice scales that you want. Just like that. Now we're going to proceed to do this all around the body of the Tylosaurus. So for the tail, I'll just show you a few more. You take and just make the lines like that. And then what you want to do is we're going to make those lines all the way across here, but then you're going to come back across this way, like that, and that will create the scales that you want. We're going to do that on the body also. See, what I would do here is on the body, just take and make the lines going down the body, like this. And then you can do that all across the body, but then you come back over like this. See how we're making those nice scales? And you want to do that around the entire body of the Tylosaurus. And once we've completed that, it'll be ready to fire in the oven. And now that this has been fired in the oven, it's ready to be painted. And I'll show you the types of paint that we will use and the colors. You have acrylic paints like this, which can be bought in the art store. And there's about 18 colors in this package. And I'll show you the colors that we want to use. We want to use there's a nice blue-green color. That'll be used for the back. We want to use a nice gray for the body. We want to use black for the eyes. And then we want to use blue for the water, light blue, and white. I'll show you how we proceed to do that. So now, we also want to use some brushes. I'll show you which brushes that I prefer to use for these. I want to use this size brush here for the body. See how it's nice and wide? And then I want to use some smaller brushes. This size here we'll use for the eyes. So got a nice fine tip. Then for the base, I'll probably use a couple of small brushes like this to do the water. And I might even use one of the bigger brushes. And then I'll just take one more brush about this size. That way we have enough to do it. I'll proceed to show you how to do the water first. So I'm going to take this, see this here? And just kind of go back and forth, back and forth. Just like this. I'm going to go all the way around and do that. I'll just show you how to do part of it. Let's see, got that, dab that. Just like that. Just like that. See how we're doing that? Don't worry if you get, I just got a little paint on his mouth, but that's fine, because you can paint over it. And now that we've done that, I'm just going to dab this in the water, because we'll end up using that for the body again. And the next color I want to use for the water is a light blue. Take this, and then, see, what can I just dab a little bit here, dab a little there, just like that. I'll show you, just kind of dab there, dab, do a little dab there, just like that. And then what we'll proceed to do is we want to take and use the white. So now we're going to take and just kind of dab this with the white. See how we're doing that? Just dab ever so slightly. See how that nicely that looks? And now we'll proceed to do the dinosaur itself. So what we want to do, See this here? Just take and dab that ever so slightly. Like that. You might have to give it a couple of coats because it looks like it's going on a little thin here. But you want to do the entire body in this manner. Go up and down, back and forth. See how we go back and forth. And you want to do that over the entire body. Back and forth, back and forth. And I'll show you, we want to paint a few other things. I'm going to paint that right here. See how we're doing that? Kind of just go back and forth. Just like that. Just like that. And you'll paint both sides in that manner. And I'll show you how to do the eyes. So now I'm going to dab this in. And then we're going to see this. We'll just put this in the eye right here. See how we're doing that? And then we'll proceed to do the other side in the same manner. I'm going to take this, put that in there. And that's how you do the eyes. And I'll show you what the completed Tylosaurus should look like once it's been painted. See how we did the nice water base here? The different colors? We started out with the blue, we have the light blue, we have the white. You can see how we did that all the way around the base. And then we painted the entire dinosaur, or the Tylosaurus, this gray color. You can see the black for the eyes. And then you can see the blue-green for his like little spine on his back here. And that's what the final version of your Tylosaurus should look like. I do want to thank you for coming to Creations in Clay, and I do look forward to seeing you again next week. Goodbye for now.